Hi YouTube. Um, I was just going to do a quick update, I guess, because we're fixing to leave to go to some beach in Alabama that I keep forgetting the name of. Um, but anyways, so really what I wanted to do this about is I'm supposed to be 27 weeks today, according to my October due date. But I had a doctor's appointment this week, and my due date's been kind of messed up from the very beginning. When I went in, I never got a first trimester ultrasound, so they just assumed that my due date was in September. It was September 17th, I believe. Um, but I never got the ultrasound, so they weren't sure, really. They just kind of went with it. And I went to do a gender scan at one of the 4D places, and she looked at the baby and was just like, whoa, they're way too small. You're not how far along you're supposed to be. So I went back, and the hospital ordered an ultrasound, and according to that ultrasound, wasn't that far along, so they put me back like 6 weeks, I think. But when I went to this doctor's appointment, I expressed to him my inability to breathe, and he said he wanted to measure the baby because depending on some stuff, like if where she's sitting and stuff like that, that it could be just her making it difficult to breathe. But he measured my uterus, or my fundal height, and he measured it again and again, and he was like, how far along are you supposed to be? And I told him 26 weeks, and he was like, no. He said, you're more like 30, probably 32. And the thing about that is that I never told him that I had a wrong due date to begin with. I mean, this is a new doctor, so I'm sure he could have read it in my records if he wanted, but he, correctly guessed how far along I was exactly, according to my September due date, because I would be 32 weeks on, Wednesday or Thursday, I think, had my due date stayed the same. So, and that was just based on my fundal height, and he said for breathing at 32 weeks, if I'm having difficulty breathing, she's in my lungs, my uterus is really high, and that's what it is. But he does not, he firmly believes that I'm further along than I am. So I don't know, I might be 27 weeks, I might be 32, fixing to be 33, I have no idea. But I did schedule my next appointment. The next appointment was actually with my OBGYN. The appointment I had the other day was just with my primary care manager before I met with my OBGYN. So that appointment is on August 3rd, and I have to meet with him again, my primary care, actually on August 1st, because he made me have an echocardiogram because he heard a heart murmur when he was listening to my heart, which is basically just like when you're listening to your heart, it's supposed to be like, the love dub, love dub, love dub, but a heart murmur it'll make 3 sounds instead of 2, or 4 instead of 2. It won't make just the 2 that it's supposed to. So, I don't know what the results of that are, and I'm assuming that's what my next appointment is for, is to go over the results of that test. I did notice she stopped at one point and kind of went back and took some notes on something, so I don't know if that's what that was. But, yeah, it's just been a trip. So, just kind of wanted to explain everything, and, I didn't know what the echocardiogram was at first. I had to have my mom explain it to me, and I kind of did some research on it online, but it's basically just an ultrasound of your heart, and they just do it from several different angles, and they hook you up to the machine to see what you're, sorry, they hook you up to the little sticky machine to see what your breathing is. Because when I went to the primary care, he was concerned that my breathing was more than triple what's normal for someone my size. So he, he wanted to kind of stress that and just make sure that I stay relaxed and don't overwork myself. So, but yeah, it's just been a week. It's been hard, and it's been horrible, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know when she's due anymore. I'm so confused. But my theory's always kind of been that I was further along, because I feel like she just, for 26 weeks, or for 27 now, I guess, like, my whole belly rolls. And she will just, I mean, you can make out what she's moving and doing, and it's crazy. And that's not the only thing, but I just thought maybe she's small, and like maybe I really am just 32 weeks and she's just a little baby. But then it concerns me as far as like if I were to go into labor in September, because say that was my real due date, um, that they would try and stop labor because they think that I am not that far along, when in actuality I was 40 weeks or whatever. And that concerns me, because I know that's dangerous for the baby. Um, because I've heard all kinds of horror stories of women going into labor because they were due a little sooner than their doctors thought, and the doctor stops the labor, and then the baby dies. And basically what I'm saying is, if I go into labor in September, she's coming out. No one is stopping my labor. I'm not allowing them to. But my other fear is, what if I really am due in October and she's only 32 weeks when I go into labor or something like that? So I'm just done and ready for her to be here. I either have 13 weeks left or I have 8. So we'll see. Hopefully on August 3rd I will get to find out. And then I'll probably actually do my next update somewhere around there, because like I said, we're going to the beach. So I'll be here to do one. So but yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little update and kind of figure out what's going on. Hopefully I will know something by the next video, and I can figure out what the hell is going on. But yeah, thanks, and have a great week, guys. I'll see you again next week.